Hello and welcome to Tabletop 24. Thank you for joining us for this video. That's hopefully going to give you a bit more information on the channel and what you can expect from it going forward. Now, a lot of people will have joined and subscribed to the channel recently on the back of our Flesh and Blood stream. Now, it was a really successful stream and there was some good content from some of the players and some of the bits that we put out from that. We've had some good feedback on that. Now, we want to be covering that game going forward and we want to be giving that some time and get some community content on the channel. Going forward, we will be covering our Sunday events from Manuscrew, which will be the larger sort of skirmish events and any of the special events that will be run down there. Our next big event for that, and that will be our stream, will be the release weekend for Tales of Aria, which is the latest set from Flesh and Blood. Now, why aren't we covering the pre-release, you ask? Now, we want people to enjoy their pre-release. We want people to get involved with that and get down to their local game store. Now, we will be putting some content out for the release week, give people a chance to get familiar with some cards. We'll be doing some special bits for that and cover that up. Now, I'm recording this just before spoiler season starts for Tales of Aria, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of those bits out. We've already had our Elemental Ranger, our Elemental Ranger Bow, and the lightning card that's been spoiled so far. So we're looking forward to some of that going forward. Now, whilst I play the game and I enjoy the game, I'm not the best at the game and I'm not the most informative for it. So I'll be picking the brains of the community and getting them involved with some of the content for the game going forward. Now, whilst we support Flesh and Blood heavily, and it is one of the better games that we cover, we do want to actually look at some of the other things that we can cover. This is, after all, Tabletop 24, and it'll cover all aspects of tabletop gaming. So we will also be looking to cover some further events, particularly down at Manuscrew, and our next one that we'll probably be looking into will be some coverage for Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is quite popular down at the store. Now, that's not the only game that we'll be covering, and then we'll be covering some more of the organised play for different games going forward and where the schedule allows for that. On the Flesh and Blood side, just coming back round to that, we will be also collaborating with Baz the Bard. Now, Baz will be covering our weekly armory events down at Manuscrew and also some other events there. So I'll pop the links down to that channel, and we'll also get Baz on to go through and we'll have a bit of a chat about the meta, some of the local plays, some of the games that we're facing. So we'll get him on and we'll go through some bits and pieces on that as well. Now, beyond TCGs, we'll be looking at getting some other games to the channel. Now, you will have seen, hopefully, on the channel, so there has been some unboxings, and they will continue. They are very much the games that come in here, and also a loan to the channel as well. So we will be getting them through, and as much as we can. If there's anything in particular people are looking out for, do let us know, and we'll try and get it on the channel. Now, those games have got to get played at some point. So what we want to do going forward is get those games to the table, and we'll be doing some streams and we'll be doing some recordings of those games so that we can get some gameplay for everybody. Now, a lot of the games will be older, we appreciate that, and they're not the latest hotness coming out, but we'll try and get those for everybody, because there are some good games out there, and we want to be putting some recommendations and some playthroughs for that, so people can see how some of these games are played and see whether they're there for you or not. So, two of the big games that we want to get covered and do a bit more coverage on is Marvel Champions, the card game. Now, that's a game we're quite heavily into. We've just unboxed the Mad Titan Shadow, which is the latest expansion for that, so we're going to see some games coming from there. We also want to cover Arkham Horror, the card game. Now we've got quite an extensive collection for that, and it's not hit the table as often as I'd like, so I want to get that out through there, and we're going to look at getting some regular coverage out for that. Now, they're not the only games, and there's a lot more, as you can see behind me, and we would like to get some more of those to the table, so we're going to try and put some bits up for those games going forward, and coverage of that. Now, as we've said, it's Tabletop 24, so we wouldn't be covering everything unless we did some painting, so we'll probably be looking at getting some paint on there, and I'm going to be reaching out to some people in the community to help out with that. I'm not the best painter, but I know a few people that are, so we'll be getting those there, and this will all eventually lead up to when we can and we feel safe to and good to doing our next 24-hour event. That will be at some point in the future. The ideas for that are trickling through now, and we would like to start getting the ball rolling on that. But that is when we can probably say that the world's back to a bit more of a normality, and these things going from there, because we are quite small. I wouldn't want anybody to put a lot of money in behind it and then we not be able to do it for whatever reason, lockdowns or further sort of restrictions or anything like that. So we want to make sure that we're good for that going forward. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to see on the channel, please drop it down below. Get in touch with us, see if there's anything else there. We'll obviously be looking at the likes, the views on some of the content that we're getting to see what we can mix it up going forward for everybody. But hopefully that gives you a bit of perspective on what we wanted to cover on the channel and what you can expect from us going forward. Hopefully you've been liking the content so far, so keep an eye out for more coming forward. Thanks a lot and take care.